Good morning, culés. It is time to wake up and Barca. Live Barcelona news coming at you right here from the Undefeated channel. In today's episode, we'll be talking about Busquets. What is his future looking like? He's turning down some lucrative deals here. Is Busquets looking at maybe one more year in the Blaugrana kit? We'll be discussing that. Plus, Memphis, Carrasco, Kessie, Brozovic. Who's coming? Who's going for Barcelona? And of course, we'll be doing a match preview for the Copa del Rey tie against AD Cueta, I believe they're called. Sueta? Whatever it is, you don't know anything about them, and neither do I. So we're going to have to learn about that team. We'll be taking them on Thursday in the Copa del Rey. So we'll do a little match preview. We'll talk lineups and predictions. We'll get to know our opponent. All that and more on today's episode of Wake Up in Barca. If you want to chat with your fellow culés as we have a little bit of caffeine, get our day going, all you gotta do is subscribe to the channel, participate in the chat. This is your opportunity to give your thoughts, your opinions, ask your questions, but most importantly, connect with your fellow culés from around the world. Make some new friends. This is your opportunity to do so. On this channel, we support the badge, we support each other while we go over Barcelona news, do live watch-alongs, all the Barcelona content you could ever want right here on the channel. With that out of the way, let's kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
All right. Good morning again. Good morning on YouTube. Before we get things going, make sure you smash that like button. Drop a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content, whether you've been here since day one or you're just finding us. I appreciate the love and support. If you want to show me some love back, hit that thumbs up. If you're watching on TikTok, I see some hearts scrolling up the screen right now. You got the idea. Double tap the screen. Make sure you give me a follow. And if you want the full experience over on YouTube, we've got screen shares, we've got graphics, we've got all the bells and whistles. Swipe over to my profile, click the link in the bio. That'll get you over to the Undefeated Mustache John YouTube channel, which is where these fine folks are. So good morning again to you all. We're going to be discussing Barcelona's upcoming match against AD Cueta, or Sota, or Suta. I had to look up the pronunciation of this, of course. I've never seen this team before. If you just give a quick look at news, it's just about tomorrow's match against Copa del Rey. Standings, the internet, I have no idea. Players, okay, there's some names. Rodri, but not that Rodri. Not that Rodri. If you're looking through the names, there's really nobody on here. There's no up-and-coming names that are on anybody's radar. There's no former legends that have dropped down into this club. There's just I don't want to say a bunch of nobodies because we all have value, of course, but there's not anybody on Suetas, however you want to pronounce it, squad that we should be concerned about. This should be an easy peasy win for Barcelona, but you never know. You never know. There's going to be some squad rotations for this one because we've got Getafe coming up this Sunday. We will be doing a live watch along for that one. So lots of content coming up on this channel. Again, today we'll be talking about a lineup. I do predict some rotations for Xavi. We're not going to see the same starting 11 we saw against Real Madrid or against Atletico Madrid. So we'll talk about those lineups. We'll talk predictions. And there's some news to go over, of course. But I want to turn to the chat. I want to say my good mornings. I want to see who's hanging out with us. As you know, this channel is really about the community, the conversation. Let's see who's in here with us. I see Spooky gave me a follow. I appreciate that very much. Over here for the Stash Squad, we got Grimash. Good morning to you. Mike Aragon, how's it going, brother? Mario, good morning to you. Jibs, hello, hello. Anthony's in the house. Artan, good morning. Nightbot is, of course, holding things down for us. Gene, good to see you. David Rivera, hello, hello. Gene says, I will be quiet, but always here. Well, I appreciate you, Gene. Always appreciate you hanging out. I do encourage everyone to participate in the chat, though. Ask questions, give your thoughts, give your opinions, interact with each other. Again, this is an opportunity to meet fellow culés from around the world that you've never seen before, never had the chance to connect with. This is the opportunity to do it. I see Araujo's in the chat. Good morning to you, sir. Glad you found us. Let's start off with some Busquets news, shall we? Because Busquets is being lured potentially by Al Nassr, offering him 20 million euros a season to come and play for Al Nassr, same club that Ronaldo just signed for. 20 million, of course, not as much as what Ronaldo was signing, not as much as what Ronaldo was offered, but you would expect that. 20 million still more than what Busquets is making currently at Barcelona. Reports say he's around 16 million, and I'm not sure if that's before or after any potential pay cuts or deferred payments, but what I'm reading is that 20 million, more than what he's getting paid right now. It's not going to be the same level of football, which I think is a good move for Busquets. I think if he takes a step down, he'll be able to shine even more. So if I'm Boosie, I'm taking this deal. Just saying. I'm taking that 20 million. I'm out the door. I think the only reason why he doesn't, I get this burp out of the way. Maybe if I have a sip of coffee real quick. Good. That's good coffee. Yeah, that's nice. Anyway, I think the reason why Busquets turns down 20 million a year is because he wants one more chance at a Champions League title with Barcelona. And if you look how things are progressing, yes, we got eliminated from the group stage. Yes, we're in Europa League, but that was early in the season. That was in the month of November where we still had some injuries in our back line. Still working out some chemistry in the attack, in the midfield. I think next season, I'm not saying we're favorites by any means, but next season, Barcelona are going to be in the hunt for a Champions League, and I think Busquets would regret it if he didn't stick around for one more season. So, will Busquets get a contract extension, or will he go for one of these more lucrative offers that are maybe on the table for him? For me, I could see him extending one more season, playing a lesser role, playing similar to what Iniesta did in his last couple of seasons at Barcelona, where he's there, he's not a regular starter, but he'll step in when you need him to. I see Busquets doing that next season. I think that we have a wealth of talent now in the midfield. Busquets can have one more year, Champions League victory, and then ride off into the sunset. That's what I would like to see. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think because we haven't had any official announcements of Busquets having this be his last season, I'm reading the tea leaves here. I think Busquets is going to stay for one more year. What do you think, folks? Let me know your thoughts. I see Kyle Cash jumped in the house. There's a couple of swap deals on the table, actually, Kyle, and we're going to get to those in just a moment. But first, I want to hear your thoughts on Busquets. Is it a smart move that he turned down this $20 million deal? Is he going to now stay at Barcelona with a contract extension? What do you think about that? If you're a Barca fan, are you happy that Busquets might stay for one more season? Are you thinking he should be pushed out? What are we thinking, folks? How do we feel about Busquets and his current situation? Matinho, I see you in here as well. Artan, if I did not say hello, good morning to you. David says, next season we could definitely make it to the quarterfinals and maybe even further. I think we can go further. Sahil says, Busquets still can do against Girona, Elche at home, nothing more. All right, so lesser clubs at home in La Liga is where Sahil sees Busquets' role being played out for Barca. Mario says, I like the fact that we're going to play against Manchester United in Europa League because they are a strong team and we are a more strong team. Very good. We'll get to Europa League content here on another episode, I'm sure. Anthony says, I love the movement off the ball against Real Madrid, something that has been a complaint of mine. Yeah, there was a clip I saw. I'm not going to bring it up because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but there was a clip I saw of Barcelona just dominating possession for like a minute, 2 minutes through the midfield, just passing around Real Madrid. They couldn't do anything to stop us other than eventually foul Busquets. So Barcelona get a free kick. So yes, I'm very happy with what I've been seeing from Barcelona, particularly in the midfield. And if you asked me at the beginning of this season, I'd say Busquets, this is his last year, it's time to go. But Xavi just keeps finding ways for Busquets to extend his time at Barcelona. He keeps finding ways to make tactical adjustments to make up for the fact that Busquets is not very mobile these days. Having Koundé at right back, pushing forward, having Frankie de Jong drop in and sort of a second pivot. So now Busquets doesn't have to go sideline to sideline stopping counterattacks with Koundé, with de Jong. He can just play centrally. It's genius from Xavi. Absolute genius from Xavi. My goodness. Anyway. Araujo over on TikTok says, if our backline didn't get injured, we would surely get out of the group in Champions League. Could not agree more. It's just bad timing. Injuries came at the worst point in the season for us. And what happened, you know? So we've got Europa League, and I think next year Champions League is going to be looking good for us, for sure. Outside of that, some other news. I see everyone in the chat is bringing it up already, so let's go ahead and talk about these potential Barcelona swaps. Brozovic and Carrasco potentially in, Memphis and Kessie potentially out, but there's a lot up in the air here. Marcelo Brozovic and Carrasco would be Barca's ideal signings, according to Barca Buzz. Barca like them a lot and believe they can fit into the financial fair play demands set by La Liga. There's only 2 weeks, less than, left in this window. So let's chat about Kessie. According to Rashad Rahman, who is quoting Gerard Romero, Kessie doesn't want to leave right now, but anything is still possible. If he reflects, we could see a change, but I think the swap involving him and Brozovic is complicated as of right now. So let's talk about that one first. Kessie, Brozovic, both central midfielders, very different playing style. Kessie more physical, a little bit more nonchalant in his style. Brozovic, he is a little bit more dogged, a little bit more tactical, a little bit more precise, maybe I'll say, on the ball. So, but not as athletic. So you sacrifice a little bit of that athleticism, a little bit of pace that you get with Kessie for Brozovic, who's a little bit more technical on the ball, like I said, a little bit more with the... He's not a maestro. He's not a midfield maestro. But if you watch the World Cup, Brozovic, Modric, and... why am I blanking on his name? Oh, midfielder for Chelsea. I really like him. Used to play at Real Madrid. He's the number 8 for Chelsea. Why am I blanking on his name? It ends in itch. What is his name? Kovacic. Thank you. My goodness. Kovacic. Wow. Brain fart. Have a little bit more coffee, John. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. Anyway, Brozovic, part of that Croatian midfield that really performed well during the World Cup. So I'm not going to be too upset if we swap Kessie for Brozovic. It's not going to move the needle much for Barcelona. It's just going to be another supplemental midfielder, right? So I don't think it makes a huge difference. Memphis for Carrasco. I'd rather keep Memphis. Again, Ferran and Ansu on the left-hand side are inconsistent. Memphis gives us something different. He gives us that one-on-one makes something out of nothing ability, okay? Memphis doesn't need the tiki-taka. He can play with his back to goal and be involved in that style of play, or you give him the ball on the left-hand side and you step back and you watch what he does with it. I know that is not Barcelona's preferred style, which is why Memphis is being shown the door, but I think if we swap him for Carrasco, I don't think we get a significant upgrade. I think we get a box-to-box. Say words, John. I think we get a box-to-box left midfielder with Carrasco as opposed to a left winger in Memphis. And maybe that's what Xavi wants because he's thinking, I've got Ansu, I've got Ferran Torres, I've got Rafinha and Dembele on the other side. Give me a true midfielder in case I want to play, without having a left back on the wing. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love the idea of swapping Memphis for Carrasco. I don't think Carrasco is going to have a huge impact. If he does come to Barcelona, he'll get some matches, not a lot. To me, it feels like they know that Memphis is going to leave, and if they can swap him for Carrasco, then at least if they want to sell Carrasco, they can get something for him, as opposed to Memphis just leaving for free and we get nothing, no players, no money. That's the best I can guess as to maybe why we're looking at that. The other transfer rumors before we get into a potential lineup for our Copa del Rey match is, of course, around Rafinha again. Arsenal insists, this is from Barca Center, Arsenal insist on signing Rafinha. The Brazilian is flattered by the interest, but right now he's not clear about leaving Barcelona because he wants to continue fighting. I talked about this on Monday, folks. Rafinha's going nowhere. He loves Barcelona. He's only been here for not even a year. Not even a year. This is his first year at Barcelona, okay? I know that everyone's real quick to just cut ties. Oh, you're not doing what Haaland's doing for Man City. You're not doing what Mbappe did when he first transferred to PSG. You're out. Come on. We can do better than that, folks. We can do better than that. Rafinha stays. He is a work in progress with a lot of potential. Dembele may or may not extend his contract at Barcelona. We got to keep that in mind. Rafinha is the backup to Dembele, who is currently halfway through his 1 of 2 year contract. Talked about this a lot, but Dembele, come this summer, is going to have to either sign another extension or he will be shown the door. And if he's shown the door, it would be real nice to have Rafinha as a backup. It's also nice just in the contract negotiations with Dembele to have Rafinha there as a bargaining chip. Just saying. Just saying. Kudus, how we doing, sir? Good morning to you. Says just in time for the Dembele contract extension talks. Yep, absolutely. Anytime you tune in here, there's a good chance you're going to be getting some Dembele contract talks. It does happen. It does happen here on the channel. But folks, with the news out of the way, I think we can go ahead and switch over to discussing the Copa del Rey matchup against AD Cueta. We're going to be playing them tomorrow, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Convert that for your time zone, watching from around the world. Barcelona, again, the away team in this one. Should be easy peasy, but you know, and that's what I said against Intercity in the round of 32, and that ended up being a 4-3 victory for Barcelona. Dominated the match, but made it way too close. Way too close. Anyway, 4-3 for Barca. I like it. I'm hoping that this one is a little bit easier for us. We are going to see some heavy rotations because I said we've got Getafe coming up on Sunday. All right, so let's talk how Xavi will line up against AD Cueta in the Copa del Rey. Again, heavy rotations expected, but I do think there's going to be 1 or 2 of the key players left in the starting 11 just to ensure we don't go off the rails. All right, so let's talk about who Xavi will put in his starting 11 for this upcoming Copa del Rey match. Starting in the back, even though he had a rough match against Intercity, Iñaki Peña gets the start between the posts. Traditionally, historically, Barcelona go with their number 2 keeper for Copa del Rey. That has not happened the last couple of seasons because Xavi has had zero faith in the backups. But Iñaki Peña, registered with the first team now, promoted to the number 13 on his back. He gets the start here in the Copa del Rey. Playing in front of him, we're going to see Jordi Alba. Balde has all but taken the starting spot at left back. That's going to be his spot for La Liga, which means Copa del Rey is going to be all Jordi Alba. Similarly for Bayern, he's playing behind Koundé, Araujo, and Roberto at right back position, but Copa del Rey, lesser opponent, perfect opportunity for Bayern to get a little bit of time before he maybe goes to Betis. We'll see. He's on the transfer block as well, but that's a different story. Center back wise, we're going to be going with Eric Garcia, who needs some playing time, needs to find his form. I know he's made some Langley-esque mistakes this season. I know a lot of people are giving him heavy criticism, but this is a young man with a lot of potential. This is a great opportunity to get him some playing time. Now, his center back partner, we got some options. Could be Alonso, could be Christensen, but I think based off of what we saw against Real Madrid, I think we're going to see Koundé at center back. He's been playing right back with Araujo on the inside. Araujo is not participating in this match. We're rotating players. But what I saw against Real Madrid was that Koundé was a little bit out of sorts at center back because he's, for France and Barcelona, been playing right back. He's sliding back into the center, and it's a little bit different. Just enough that I think he could use 45 minutes. He won't play the whole game, but Koundé, 45 minutes at that center back spot next to Garcia. If I'm wrong about that, then it'll be Garcia and Alonso as the center back pairings. That's the other prediction. In the midfield, again, heavy rotations. Our boys Pedri, Gavi, Busi, Frankie all played incredibly well, poured their heart outs against Real Madrid. So they're going to get a rest. We're going to see Roberto, Pablo Torre, and Kessie in a midfield three for Barcelona. I think Roberto is going to hold things down for us, while Pablo Torre and Kessie do the offensive work. Of course, all three will be a little bit box to box, doing what they need to do. And they'll be playing underneath Lewandowski. Will be playing because he is suspended in La Liga, so you might as well use him for Copa del Rey. Otherwise, he would have been rested, but he's not available for La Liga, so let's play him. Same thing for Ferran Torres on that left-hand side. This is a good opportunity for Ansu Fati, so maybe, but Ferran Torres not available in La Liga, so let's go ahead and play him in the Copa del Rey on the left wing. And on the right wing, the man who's being scouted by Arsenal currently, if you're listening to those reports, Rafinha. I think he gets the start. I think he has a great match for Barcelona, a confidence builder. Barcelona go on to victory. We'll have plenty of firepower on the bench, of course. I mentioned no Araujo, but other than that, everybody available to us. If things get a little bit squirrely, we can bring on Gavi, Pedri, Frankie, Dembele, Ansu if we need to, Balde if we need to, Christensen if we need to. We got plenty of firepower, folks, going up against AD Cueta in the Copa del Rey. In terms of predictions, I think this is going to be a big victory for Barcelona. I'm going 5-0. I'm going 5-0 for Barcelona. A big victory. And I'm going 2 goals from Lewandowski, a goal from Rafinha, and a goal from Kessie. 2 from Lewandowski, Rafinha, Kessie, and then the 5th will be Ansu Fati off the bench. How about that? 5 goals for Barcelona in a Copa del Rey victory. Lock in the prediction. Let me know what your thoughts are on the starting lineup. Prediction-wise, what do you think is going to be the outcome of the match? We'll go from there. If you're watching on replay, let me know down in the comments. If you're watching live, I'm going to turn to the chat, see what you're thinking, and we'll go from there. I appreciate the love and support over on TikTok. Again, double tap that screen, get the hearts scrolling in. Give me a follow if you're enjoying the content. Swipe over, click the link in the bio if you want the full experience over on YouTube. Make sure you're smashing that like button if you're enjoying the content. All right. Kudis always giving us a reminder, drop a prediction and a like. If you're not subscribed yet, please do so you can participate in the conversation. I want to know your thoughts, my friends. I see Matinho's with me on that 5-0 victory. Love it. Mario says, the little teams are always to be careful with. You don't want to look past people. I get it. But also, let's smash them. Let's smash them, my friends. Grimash says, Louis has to play. Agreed. But says Ansu should start with Rafinha. Maybe. I'm predicting that Xavi is going to give Ferran that time because he's not available in the Liga. That's really the only reason. Otherwise, it would be Ansu all day, every day. Excuse me. Mario says 5 goals for Lewandowski only. I love it. Matinho says Lewandowski 20 goals, 5 assists in 22 games. It's absolutely incredible. I do have a small complaint that he didn't show up early enough in Champions League, Inter, Bayern matches, but he's coming around. Scoring against Real Madrid in the Super Copa final. Love to see it. Christian and La Vida, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it, my friends. Hope you're enjoying the content. Again, we've got starting 11 for AD Cueta. We will not be doing a live watch along for that one. I'm going to have to catch it on replay. Work happens, folks. You know, these midweek matches sometimes hard for me to coordinate my schedule. I do have other things going on, unfortunately. But you know what? As this community grows, as this channel grows, who knows what happens in the future, all right? But for right now, can't do the Copa del Rey match, but I will be doing the live watch along for the match against Getafe coming up this weekend. But before we get to that, we'll be doing another episode of Wake Up in Barca right here on the Undefeated channel. We'll be doing a post-match recap. We'll talk about what was good, what was bad, what was Barca of the Copa del Rey match Friday morning. Plus, we'll do a little match preview similar to what we did today for Barcelona Getafe. That's going to happen Friday. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you turn on notifications, because I'm not very consistent with the time, all right? I want to get back to doing these early, but winter's tough, man. Might have to wait for that clock change again. We'll see. We'll see. But for right now, I just appreciate you hanging out with us. I really do. Yasir says, Barca should sell Rafinha to Arsenal for $100 million. I don't believe that's the offer. If they offered us $100 million, I would say take it, because we only paid, what, $70 million, something like that. Forget if we paid 70 or if we paid 50. I don't recall. But if we're offered 100, sure. But I don't believe that's happening. Yeah, Kudus, when, what is it? When we spring forward? But I guess that would make me more tired, because it would go from 7 a.m. Oh, no, it's 8 a.m. Yeah, so no, it's going to get worse when the time changes. Anyway, folks. Yeah, Grimish brings up a good point. Says we shouldn't sell Rafinha. What if Dembele gets injured? Jerry over on TikTok says bring Aubameyang back. Maybe. I would say Aubameyang would be a better replacement for Memphis than Carrasco. I would say that. But I don't know. I don't think it's happening. I think maybe Memphis for Carrasco swap happens. I don't think Kessie Brozovic swap happens, and I don't think Barcelona bring in anybody else. I think we have a deep squad. I think we have a team that can compete in La Liga, Copa del Rey, Europa League. I don't think we need to be splashing any cash. I don't think we need to be forcing anybody out. I really want Barcelona to move away from that mentality of having to force people out, having to ask players to take pay cuts. Like, let's get some wiggle room, all right? Let's get there. My goodness. Wait. There's no more jump forward or fall back? They're done with it? Did I miss that memo? Did I miss that memo? Daylight saving time 23 in the United States will begin at 2 a.m. on March 12th. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? Here it is. Kyle Cash, you've been doing too much international travel. I don't believe we're done. I think, yeah, Kyle, you dum-dum. I think certain areas are going away from it. I think certain countries are going away from it. But, yeah, I think... Too early for this nonsense. Way too early. Ovi, good morning to you, sir. Glad to see you. Google Congress Daylight Saving Time. Okay. All right. So this is in November. U.S. Congress split on making Daylight Saving Time permanent. Yeah, dude. State legislation is October. Bro, maybe you need to Google it, Kyle Cash. Steve expert supports the switch, blah, blah, blah. It's time to fall back. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of that. Not seeing any of that jazz. Plus, I don't think anybody cares. So we're going to move on. I'm now just confused. I have no idea if daylight saving time is going to be a thing or not. It looks like yes. Kyle Cash is swearing no. But Kyle Cash is also a Manchester United supporter. So... what are we going to do here? Who are we going to believe? I don't know. Just kidding. Kyle says, the Senate passed it. It's stuck in the House Energy and Commerce Committee. All right. This is why I don't listen to politics. Bunch of nonsense. Time's not even real. The sun circles around, or we circle around the sun, depending on what you believe. We circle around the sun. And time is just a way of measuring space. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Nothing's real. We live in a simulation anyway. Anyway, Kuda says, greatest wake up in Barca segment ever. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, folks. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that 5 minutes of pure nonsense between me and my stash mods. I love you all very much. Last question coming over here from TikTok. Do you think you'll beat Man U? It's the Europa League in February. I'll read that again. Do you think you'll beat... I can't even read that. There we go. Okay. Do you think you'll beat Man U in the Europa League in February is the question. I need a nap, apparently. I think we will, because I think Manchester United are going to have one eye on catching Arsenal in the Premier League. And I think Barcelona have a deeper squad. So we'll be talking more Europa League, Manchester United, Barcelona in the upcoming episodes, of course. But I think that's going to do it for today. We talked about Busquets. We talked about the swap deals between Carrasco and Memphis and Kessie and Brozovic. We talked about Rafinha going nowhere. And we talked about a potential starting 11 for the upcoming match in Copa del Rey. So that's going to do it for today, folks. I appreciate you spending some time with me. Ovi, I'm glad you jumped in here to say good morning. Everybody else, drop a like, subscribe, follow, click the hearts, all the things. Go out there and enjoy your day. Positive interactions, high fives, and hugs for whoever wants them. I love you all very much. I appreciate you spending some time with me. I will see you Friday for Wake Up in Barca. We'll be doing the good, the bad, the Barca on Copa del Rey. We'll do a match preview for Getafe. Lots to fit in. So make sure you come hang out with us Friday morning. Wake Up in Barca. I will see you then, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride. Mwah.